Alright, Warp Room 4 is up next, and this is my favorite warp room of them all. Now 2 themes are gone, that being the upstream levels as well as the running levels. You know, where you run towards, against, where from a boulder, a bear, or whatever it may end up being. And out comes some of my favorite themes and some of the most fun. So ranking this is kind of difficult, but I have made up my mind as the last place, and that one is Cold Hard Crash. This is once again due to the fact that I don't really like the snow theme. It's sort of boring, it's just pretty blue and white, and what that are nice colors. There isn't really that much for me to celebrate about it. But of course, like the previous one, it does have great level design. It has some good obstacles, some pretty good enemies. There's basically a lot of things to like about this level. In terms of design, I would say it's really well designed. But when it comes to me wanting to play through it, well, I just don't really want to do it too often. There are a couple of things. Number one, the theme itself is just kind of boring color-wise. It's just dentist blue and white, and that is not really too fun for me to look at. Number two, there are some pretty troubling and pretty annoying moments when you actually can lose just because of the way the game is made. And that is obviously these icy paths that you have to time in order to actually get everything. And you can even glide off blocks when you are jumping upon them because of the ice slipping you away. So for all of these reasons, I have to unfortunately just face Cold Hard Crash at 5th and last place. But with that, it is a very high standard, so this is far from the worst if I were to do an overall ranking. Alright, next one. And at a 4th place, I have gone with level 16, Hanging Out. So this is the last sewer level of the game. But sadly though, this is not necessarily the best level in the warp room. Oh, don't get me wrong, it is a really good one. But when it comes to the overall perception of this, I just feel like it is not really doing anything special or anything majorly great in order to appeal to the general player. It simply is the same thing as the previous level. There isn't anything new, there are no new additions. It's just the same. It has the same enemies, the same layout, the same music. Sure, you know, every warp room got the same music. But the point I'm trying to make it is, while I absolutely like these themes, there isn't really, compared to the other warp rooms, there isn't really nothing special about them. It is the same thing over and over and over again throughout this. And while I absolutely do like this theme, it simply doesn't hold a candle to the other levels, which, spoilers for the rest, does add something new that wasn't in the previous levels. So yeah, due to being pretty similar to the previous levels, and because of the competition being really fierce, I have to unfortunately place this level at 4th place with a very thin margin. Alright, next one. So for number 3, I have actually gone with this level thing, which I find really cozy and comfortable, and this one is actually Ruination. So Ruination is the follow-up to the Warp Room 3 level Road to Ruin, which is a thing that I really enjoy. Now I do the same thing with this one. It is quite a nice level. Now it actually does have one major addition, which does push it over the edge of being at the top 3. And that is that it's set during a rainstorm. Yes, from the very second you get into this level, you will hear thunder and rain. Now of course it doesn't really have a major effect on level itself. It's just a cosmetic change. But that is a change that I really enjoy, and it overall feels like this is a step up from the previous level. Sure, not necessarily in the platforming or not necessarily in the platforming, but just how different it actually is, while at the same time being quite similar. There is one new enemy which is pretty enjoyable, and this is actually an enemy which I think appears towards the end of the level instead of right at the beginning. So yes, this means there's a slight progression. The longer you get into level, the harder it gets. Of course, it doesn't get unbearably difficult. It just becomes a really fair difficulty as it goes on, and that is undoubtedly something which is very much appreciated. And it just works, really, you know. It is a level which just really works. And because of the way that the level is designed and because of all of the additions, and not to mention the music as well, I will actually be placing this level on a comfortable 3rd place. Once again, this was pretty fierce, but I'm comfortable with this placement. Alright, next one. I have decided to go with level 17, Digging It. So remember what I said when I said that the thing with boulders and bears and whatnot is gone? Well, it is partially true. Sure, that mechanic is gone, but the theme is still present, as you can see now that you are in this very level. So yeah, this is actually a really fun level. It actually does have a pretty good design. It does have plants, which is shooting out bombs. We have speed boosts, we have bees, and this is actually a level where you can actually interact with the environment itself. As you can see underneath here, you can use the spin button in order to actually spin yourself underneath, and you can then stay away from enemies. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that you are invincible. You can still die from these TNT crates. So don't get caught up in something where that you cannot do. You are not invincible. You are merely just invisible. And that is a pretty cool addition, which is actually one of the only few levels where you actually can. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, there's also the speed boost from the boulder levels. Now the music kicks absolute ass as well. That is something I really like about this game. How the soundtrack is pretty dynamic. It works really well. While I would say that the music from the first game is more atmospheric and fits the mood of the level, this has just a more memorable soundtrack, and it's one that most people remember when they talk about this game. But enough about that. So yeah, this is actually a pretty fun level, and a bonus is on this one or the other one. You can get the Death Route gem if you actually just head backwards when there's a splitting path towards the end. So, because of everything that I've said, I will actually be placing Digging It at place 2 on this list, with just one more, which if you'll be following along, you know which one I'm talking about. So at number 1 of Warp Room 4, I have decided to go with Behaving. So yes, this is the second level in this game which has this theme, and it's also the last level of this warp room. So that means there are two levels. There are 2 level themes within the same warp room. Now, thankfully, this one is a step up from the previous level, in difficulty, yes, but a step up nonetheless. For you see, despite it being practically the same thing, there are a few additions which is really surprising. Now, I didn't mention it at the first level, but there's actually a bee which follows you, one which you can either hide from or basically spin away. Now, the bee is back, only this time it has brought its buddies, and it's actually way faster. That means that you have to do whatever it takes to actually get away from them. Now, of course, you can slide away, which does increase your speed a little bit, or you can actually try to act like a man and actually fight them. Now that is a bit difficult. You have to actually time the spin perfectly in order to get away all of them. But if you don't, well, they will simply sting you, and you will then look like an inflatable balloon animal. So yeah, avoid these at any cost. Now, of course, other than that, it is the exact same thing. It is almost the exact same thing. You have one more enemy added, and that is the guy with his mallet. He will smack you no matter what. But of course, it's pretty easy to deal with. Just dig your way underground, and you will be able to spin him away, or simply just not really, or you can simply just avoid him if you want to. So it's basically the same thing, but with extra, and does make it a more worthwhile level of this warp room. And it's definitely one that I look the most forward to. So yes, for all of these reasons, I will actually be placing Behaving at first place of Warp Room 4. And there you go, this is my top list for Warp Room 4. Now, next up is going to be Warp Room 5, which just a little spoiler, it's not as great as this one. But you will see what I'm talking about when we get there. Bye!